This is the Lost Man podcast, where we embrace the challenges and triumphs of being a modern man in the middle years. Join us as we explore the rugged path of growing older, wiser and bolder in a world that's constantly changing. I'm your host John.
And I'm Matt, and together we'll navigate this uncharted territory with grit, humour and a whole lot of heart.
Never owned a property. Obviously you're 38, you guys own this place, and it brings us nicely into the main topic of conversation.
Yeah, which is, is owning a house or owning houses, or is it as cracked up to be?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me.
That's right. Isn't it?
Yeah, is it
all it's cracked up to be?
Yeah, is it all it's cracked up to be?
I don't know. What do you think?
So, I would say, well, our property journey is we've bought one house, lived in it, did it up, and then we bought our second. So this is our second house that we've lived in and done up, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
we've always done them up, so we've always put a lot of time and money into them. It's very tiring on top of a full-time job.
Yeah.
So there's that element to it as well. But I think at the moment it's also very testing financially because of mortgage interest rates.
Yeah.
So our mortgage has gone from £700 a month, £670, to it's about to go in December to 1,300 and something.
This is crazy. Like 100% increase, more than 100% increase.
Full doubled.
Yeah,
over doubled. Is that right? No, yeah.
Yeah, over doubled.
I think it is.
Yeah, 110% or something.
And that's a lot of money.
That's a disgracefully large amount of money.
I'm a part-time teacher, and that is a third.
Yeah.
Of what I take home from that job, that mortgage increase, not the mortgage,
not the total,
not the total, just the increase is a third for what I take home.
And then you talk bills,
and then you're talking bills, and this house that we're in now, it's an amazing house, and it's a bungalow. Yeah, it's a bungalow. It's quite big. It is quite big. It's quite a big house, but it's not a massive house. But big houses cost like big bills, basically. So
it's an open plan house, so to heat it.
Open plan. We made it open plan.
Yeah.
So it costs a fortune to run. Last Christmas, thankfully, bills have gone down. Last Christmas, we were paying £600 a month, gas and electric. £600 a month. That's now gone down to 300.
Was Benji here? Benji was here.
Benji was here. Baby was here. Yeah. So, but just vast amount of money.
Yeah.
And I was telling you before we sat down and started. Yesterday, we've got one of our pumps for our sewage system's gone. So we've got like a tank that our waste goes into, and then pumps it to the main sewage system because we're downhill of it. That pump's gone. Got a guy out, £300 to get him out. Guy comes out. It's only 7 years old, so we did the house up 7 years ago. Brand new then. Got the guy out. Yeah, both pumps are knackered. You're going to need 2 new pumps, which are £500-600 plus VAT.
Yeah.
Plus him fitting.
Yeah.
Which he reckons is about £1,000 a day.
Jeez. So for all you people out there wondering what am I going to do in my life and what's a good career, if you don't mind wading around in human excrement.
Yeah, a human excrement pump engineer, £1,000 a day. But that's going to be, that's £2,000-3,000 that bill will be.
Ridiculous. And there's no getting away from it. So with my place, talking about having it all done up, it's replastered, refloored, carpeted, decorated, various different bits and bobs. So having all the ceilings have come down, all the installation sorted like that. It's going to be about £8,000 worth of work. Not out of my bank.
No, and kind of that's where the angle we were coming from with this podcast is we were talking about. So for me, owning a property at the moment, it is. I've never felt confined by the property. I've never felt like it's a burden. I've always felt like it's a great thing to own this house. And whereas now is the first time where I feel that is owning a house really all it's cracked up to be. There'll be some value in it and things like that, but at the moment it feels like a burden. It feels like something that's holding me down. It feels like the costs are kind of skyrocketing, and you're like, well, we can't do that this month because we've got that to pay for, and it every month I feel like, because we did the house up 7 years ago, we're kind of going through a little bit of a like we had a plumbing bill last month, so it's
all
like
those things are coming back to haunt
there's
you.
like little things now, like little cracks starting to form, whereas with you're renting that flat, which I don't know if you want to share how much you're paying for that flat, but
nothing. $650 a month. It's $650 a month, and it's in a little town just outside of Manchester city centre. It's
in a nice town.
In a nice town, yeah. It's
very sought after. What's the going rent for
that property? Would be about 1,100 or 1,200 quid a month, something like that. But it's on a sweetheart deal because the people who own it are friends of mine. We're in business together. Various different reasons why, and that's why, because of the interesting state that it's been in over the past couple of years, it's been better for me it's been a wise move to stay there and deal with that. But I
would say though, mate, location's insane.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I'd also say, like, size-wise,
it's massive.
It's absolutely massive. It's
huge.
Probably 100 square meters, that flat. Three huge rooms.
Yeah.
So it's a big old, like, you could literally turn that flat into
100%.
Three like bedsit size flats.
It'd be an interesting prospect to think about buying the place, but because of the age of it and because of some issues with, the electrics mainly, and just, what doing up properties like. I mean, nobody knows this more than you, but doing up properties is like, there's nightmares waiting to happen around every corner. But I think what you say is interesting about feeling sort of trapped, or the potential for feeling trapped, because there's issues on both sides. If you don't own a property, then I think that there's a big stigma in the place. So I'm a single bloke, I date, and I almost feel like I need to justify why it is that I haven't got a property. I didn't have the opportunities, and I haven't got, a little pot of money that's coming to me, and all those different kinds of things, which, whilst that's true, and I think a lot of the people that I know, at whatever stage they managed to get onto the property ladder, did have a helping hand. I just feel like it's a bit ridiculous that you should have to justify that. And, I always remember having a conversation with a friend of mine years ago, and it was like an opposed comment. So I said, well, it's only Britain where we feel this need to get on the property ladder. And then my mate Gordon at the time was like, yeah, but I like to think that we know something that they don't, which is an interesting comment to make, and maybe he's right. But I guess my point of view is, I guess it's all about timing, isn't it? Is now a good time to get on the property? Because I recently came into not a massive amount of money, but some money.
You could definitely get on the property ladder now.
I could get on the property ladder.
You could definitely get on the property ladder now. But
the question is it worth it? To have a massive mortgage, which is, like my mate Saul, in a similar position to you, his mortgage was 1,100 quid a month, jumped up to 1,800 quid a month. He could not, he had to sell the property and move into his parents' house. And it's like, I have a nice-ish lifestyle. Is it worth putting, 15% down on a property and just being absolutely banged to the wall?
Mate, I was very much in when we've been going through this phase the last few years of like buying houses, buying this house, buying a rental house, kind of trying to do the whole property thing. And I was trying to push you, like not push you, but like
put the money away,
save it, invest in a property, yada yada yada. But then, really, as soon as these interest rates has hit, I rung you up and I was like, mate, I'm so glad you didn't buy a house, because if your mortgage then was going to be what, £600-800, double that now, I mean, that'd just be crippling. And also house property values going down a little bit, so you might be in negative equity with it. So I think definitely at the moment, not a good time to buy. And the benefits of renting are like no commitments.
That's right, yeah.
No maintenance fees. You know,
especially with mine, because I'm in a bit of a lucky position. But even so, I mean, This is the Lost Man podcast, where we embrace the challenges and triumphs of being a modern man in the middle years. Join us as we explore the rugged path of growing older, wiser and bolder in a world that's constantly changing. I'm your host, John.
And I'm Matt. And together we'll navigate this uncharted territory with grit, humour and a whole lot of heart.